To be digitally literate means that an individual is able to use technology in order to communicate and use the information presented to them. It is not only knowing how to use technology, but it is also how to use the knowledge and platforms wisely. Technology is common in the society we live in and now is like a second language. Even young children are able to comprehend and use technology in a way that is foreign to most people. Technology has many advantages and is changing our society for the better. Future generations will have the capability to do things that are currently unimaginable and unthinkable. That's why it's important to be digitally literate. Each generation will have something new and confusing, and we have to keep up with those ever-present changes in our society. Being technologically literate refers to a complex set of socially and culturally situated values, practices, and skills involved in operating linguistically within the context of electronic environments, including reading, writing, and communicating. If one is able to use the technology presented to them, then they will have endless amounts of possibilities and advantages available to them. Technology allows us to be curious and to discover new things. Ken Robinson says in his TED Talk that curiosity is the engine of achievement and is one of the principles that drives human life. Throughout this semester, we learn about many different kinds of platforms that allow us to be digitally literate and make it easier to be curious. We can expand on ideas, and so we should value the growth of ideas, not limit them. The internet presents text, videos, podcasts, scholarly works, pictures, and presentations that are available for anyone's use. Through remixing, my class was able to show that ideas can be expanded, altered, and improved. Creation requires influence, and what better place to be influenced than by all the different things on the web. Data is generated every second of every day, and more information is being added and shared 24/7. With every status we share, every article we read, or every photo we upload, we are creating a digital trail that tells a story. There are 2.4 billion people who represent the population on the internet. There are many different technologies that allow interesting things to find us, which is how being digitally literate will help us. In order to be digitally literate, we have to be able to utilize the technological tools that we have been given and use those tools in a positive way. Information is always moving, and there are countless ways to access it all. Reingold wrote about culture where individual acts of participation add up to participatory culture. He wrote that communication and media can make it possible for individual behaviors to add up to collective value by making it easy and affordable for people to do things together that used to be difficult or costly. Platforms such as Twitter and WordPress allow us to interact with the world around us. Twitter lets us put our ideas and thoughts out into the world in only 148 characters. It gives us the opportunity to connect with millions of people from all around the world and tweet about whatever we want. WordPress lets us write or show our passions to anyone who happens to come across one's blog. With the blog that I created called Anna's Favorites, I decided to write about my favorite books, movies, and television shows. I would briefly describe my recommendation and explain what I loved about it. Monica Lewinsky says in her TED Talk that the internet can connect people in unimaginable ways. These two platforms are just two of the many ways that we can interact with strangers or people we know. An app called Storify gives us the opportunity to create and present experiences, ideas, or anything really within our social media. We can make sense of everything on social media. As was said in the TED Talk by Xavier Damon, we are the media and we have the responsibility to speak up. You can create a story or timeline with things that you tweet about on Twitter, post about on Facebook, Instagram, or your blog, or really any social media platform that you've used. There are many ways that one can learn about the world around us. The internet is a place where there is information on everything. Someone who is digitally literate should be able to know what will be a reliable source or not. An app called Zite helps to get you articles or videos that are reliable. Zite also learns about you more as you use the app and begins to recommend things that it thinks you may like. This way you'll only be reading and learning about things that you are interested in. This gives you more time to be intrigued by things you find intriguing, instead of skimming over websites and articles and coming across something you find interesting every once in a while. An additional app named Pocket will also aid you in your busy lifestyle. This app allows you to save articles and videos that you can view later. It directly connects to Zite and can also be used using the internet. An app that helps an individual stay on top of things is IFTTT, or If This Then That. With this service, you can create recipes or conditional statements that will be triggered by your social media and other web spaces. A quote from the video, "The machine is us/using us," one of the things that is said is that two sites can match data together, which is precisely what IFTTT does. For example, if I wanted a tweet to automatically be tweeted every time I made a new blog post on WordPress, then I would simply connect my WordPress and Twitter accounts to IFTTT and create the recipe. There are drawbacks to this fast-paced and technologically oriented society. Monica Lewinsky is an example of a drawback. Something that she did was broadcasted and shared all over the world, and that mistake has taken over her life because everything that happens on the internet stays out there forever. When using the internet, you have to be mindful that whatever you do will stay there. It's important to be conscientious of our actions and how we want to be viewed. In addition, Lewinsky was also exposed to a horrible side of the internet, a side where anyone can say anything they want. As she says in her TED Talk, there is a rush to judgment enabled by technology, which can lead to mobs of virtual stone throwers. Virtual stone throwers cannot be avoided. There will always be someone who disagrees with you. What you can do is not be one of these stone throwers. Cyberbullying and online harassment is a serious matter that should not be ignored. Being digitally literate is important in the world we live in. It opens up so many doors that we were not aware existed. We are living in a culture where everything is being shared and you can communicate with almost anyone. Fans can connect to celebrities, bloggers and writers can talk to their readers, creators can share their work, and businesses can promote themselves. The possibilities are endless. That's why it's important to be digitally literate. The internet is being accessed from all around the world, so participation online is growing and expanding, and so is the need to be digitally literate. Having the ability to understand a large amount of information and technology and then integrating that into our lives through different formats is important. The apps that I mentioned during this presentation are all able to help one become more digitally literate. They make it easier to have all your media connected and synced, and so using the internet can be all the more of an enjoyable experience. The World Wide Web presents an endless amount of sources that grows every day, and so everyone needs to be able to evaluate that information. This also comes with an awareness that the tools we are privileged to practice are used in a way that better ourselves. Technology can be integrated into our lives greatly if it is used appropriately, through ways such as evaluation, analyzation, construction, entertainment, and communication. You have to use these digitally literate skills to the best of your abilities and in a way that better benefits the world we live in. There are many options for communication, and each one of us is a component in this digital world. Each form has a different purpose that can help one achieve a professional, academic, or personal goal.